Why are more people not talking about Kamala Harris's potential to outshine Trump in 2024? It's a question that deserves more attention, especially given the stark contrasts between their policies and visions for America. Harris, as the first female vice president and a woman of color, brings a unique perspective to the table. Her background as a former prosecutor and senator gives her a wealth of experience in tackling complex issues. On the other hand, Trump, with his business acumen and unconventional approach to politics, has a different kind of appeal. But what are the key issues that will define this potential showdown? Time to dive into the details. Let's break down the 5 key issues that could shape the 2024 election and see how Harris and Trump stack up against each other. All right, let's start with climate change and clean energy. Kamala Harris is all in on the Biden administration's climate initiatives. She has been a vocal advocate for aggressive action to combat climate change, emphasizing the need for a transition to renewable energy sources. Harris's vision includes significant investments in clean energy technologies, aiming to reduce the nation's carbon footprint and create sustainable jobs in the process. Think $369 billion into clean energy investments, baby. This massive investment is not just about reducing emissions, it's about transforming the economy. Harris envisions a future where the U.S. leads the world in green technology, creating millions of jobs in the process. This approach is not just environmentally friendly, but also economically strategic, positioning the U.S. as a leader in the global clean energy market. Contrast that with Trump, who's all about those fossil fuels. Trump has consistently supported the fossil fuel industry, arguing that it is essential for economic growth and energy independence. His administration rolled back numerous environmental regulations, aiming to boost domestic oil, gas, and coal production. Trump's stance is that a strong fossil fuel industry is crucial for maintaining jobs and keeping energy prices low. Sounds pretty green to me. Harris's game plan? Reduce carbon emissions and align with scientific consensus. She believes that addressing climate change is not just a moral imperative, but also an economic opportunity. By investing in renewable energy, Harris aims to create a more sustainable and resilient economy. Next up, immigration reform. Harris is expected to take a more balanced approach compared to Trump's hardline stance. Immigration has been a contentious issue in American politics, and the differences between Harris and Trump are stark. While Trump's crowd is all about deportation, Harris is looking at comprehensive reform. Trump's immigration policies focused on strict enforcement and reducing the number of immigrants entering the country. His administration implemented measures such as the travel ban, increased deportations, and the construction of a border wall. Path to citizenship for law-abiding undocumented immigrants and, yes, maintaining border security. Harris's approach to immigration reform includes providing a pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants who meet certain criteria, such as having no criminal record and contributing to the community. She also supports measures to secure the border, but emphasizes the need for humane and fair treatment of immigrants. That's a win-win, right? Harris believes that a comprehensive immigration reform plan can strengthen the economy, enhance national security, and uphold American values of fairness and opportunity. Now let's talk racial equity and social justice. As the first woman of color VP, Harris is in a unique position to tackle racial disparities head-on. Her personal and professional experiences give her a deep understanding of the challenges faced by marginalized communities. She's acknowledging the legacy of slavery, pushing for criminal justice reform, better education, and economic opportunities. Harris has been a strong advocate for policies that address systemic racism and promote social justice. Her initiatives include police reform, investment in minority-owned businesses, and efforts to close the racial wealth gap. Trump? Not so much. Trump's approach to issues of racial equity and social justice has been criticized for lacking empathy and failing to address the root causes of inequality. His administration's policies often focused on law and order, which many argue exacerbated tensions and did little to address systemic issues. On to healthcare access. Harris aims to build on the Affordable Care Act. Healthcare remains a critical issue for many Americans, and Harris's plans reflect a commitment to expanding access and reducing costs. Think reducing healthcare costs, expanding coverage, maybe even a public option. Harris supports measures to lower prescription drug prices, expand Medicaid, and provide a public option to compete with private insurance. Her goal is to ensure that every American has access to affordable, high-quality healthcare. Trump, on the other hand, wanted to repeal the ACA without a solid replacement. Trump's efforts to dismantle the Affordable Care Act were a central part of his healthcare policy, but his administration struggled to present a viable alternative that would maintain coverage for millions of Americans. Harris's approach? More coverage, less stress. By building on the ACA, Harris aims to create a more inclusive healthcare system that reduces financial burdens on families and improves overall health outcomes. Lastly, economic policy and job creation. Harris's focus is on job creation through clean energy and infrastructure. Economic recovery and job creation are top priorities, especially in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. We're talking 81,000 new jobs and over $100 billion in manufacturing investments already. Harris's economic plan includes significant investments in infrastructure projects, clean energy initiatives, and support for small businesses. These efforts are designed to create jobs, stimulate economic growth, and build a more resilient economy. Trump leans towards traditional industries and deregulation. Trump's economic policies focused on reducing regulations, cutting taxes, and supporting traditional industries such as manufacturing and fossil fuels. His approach aimed to boost economic growth by creating a more business-friendly environment. Harris's route? Economic growth and climate care. By prioritizing sustainable development and green jobs, Harris aims to create a more balanced and forward-looking economy that addresses both economic and environmental challenges. So, there you have it, Kamala Harris's potential to outshine Trump in 2024. The differences between their policies and visions for the future are clear, and the stakes are high. As we move closer to the 2024 election, these key issues will undoubtedly play a significant role in shaping the political landscape. Let's see how it all unfolds. The 2024 election promises to be a defining moment in American history, and the choices made by voters will have lasting impacts on the nation's direction. Stay tuned as we continue to follow this exciting and pivotal race.